stuff like this takes place, like in households where the mother has a boyfriend or a baby daddy, and the stepfather is doing something with her daughter, is because the stepfather knows he can get away with it. Because most of the time, not all the time, 9 times out of 10, the mother believes her man or her boyfriend over her own child. And she don't want to mess up that relationship with that guy who she's with. She don't want to mess it up. So she will pick him over her own daughter. So she know once this thing blows up, he's going to have to leave. Then she's going to be lonely and single and without a man. She's not going to have anyone to have sex with. And if he was helping paying the bills, she ain't going to have anyone to help pay any bills anymore. So that's why maybe they know the daughter's telling the truth, but they pretend like they don't know. They act like they don't believe it because they don't want to scare the man away. They don't want to scare him off so he can leave.
Okay, no, so we're going to do a part two. A part two of how I got touched by my stepdad. So basically, this might sound crazy, but my stepdad is the one that took my virginity. Yep, I said it. He took my virginity. So basically, like I said, in part one, we had moved to the new apartment. We got settled down there, and we started going to school out of that new apartment. And when my 13th birthday rolled around, I was sleeping on the couch, and that's when I woke up and heard the keys jingling, and then he was coming around the corner. And I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, he's going to the store. We go to the store, and he gets what he needs to get. He gets back in the car, and, he asked me that question. Do you want to do the nasty one? Like, So maybe at 13, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So it wouldn't go in like the first time. Like the first time we did it, the first time it wouldn't go in. So we kept trying and trying and trying and trying. And then one day it finally went in. So after I went in, that's when, I finally started doing everything like, saying stuff like, just nasty stuff. So from then on, he is the one that taught me some of the stuff that I know, how do I say it? Intimately, like the intimacy between your partner and your loved one. So what I know now and like all the intimate stuff is something that he taught me when we were in a relationship to get there. So yeah, basically this relationship went on until I was about 17. And at 17, I was in the group homes and shit because my mom kicked me out after the year of, I think it was 2024, the year of 2024. So if you go on Google and search up Aja Burns, like AIJAHBURNS, you'll see that I've been missing since July of 2024. But yeah, I'm gonna keep moving and shit because that shit's federal, so I don't want to be found at all. Nor by my family, nor by my grandma, none of that. Not by my mom, not by my auntie, not by my dad, nobody. They all been like, Aja, where you at? Like, and I told them I'm with my boyfriend. Like, I'm with my boyfriend. Like, I'm living a happy life. I don't want to talk to none of y'all. Like, So I'm living my life, and out of the blue, my mom gonna text me talking about, oh, you ruined my life. Don't call my phone no more. Don't call this phone no more. I'm just like, okay, well, you need to grow up because you're acting like a child. I didn't like what the fuck. So yeah, no, my mom is an alcoholic. She still drinks to this day. And when I talk to my sister, she sometimes says, Mom, are you drunk? Like, why are you acting like that? And I'm like, damn, in public though? In public? Like just the other day they were walking the dog and my sister's just like, Mom, are you drunk? And I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at Nilo like, dude, that's just sad. Like, that shit is sad as fuck. But yeah, basically my mom was like, I ruined her life and don't call this phone no more. But she, recently she started calling me and telling me that she loves me and that I'm sorry for the things that I said to you and But yeah, that's how it was. And then she's still with the same man. And everybody doesn't like her for that because, everybody believes what he did. Because they had already seen the messages and, the messages and photos and the police report. I'm about to report them again anyway. So like, that shit for me over with. Because I don't want that man near my siblings. I don't want them, you want to see ruin their life? Okay. But on that homies, like,
y'all know what I'm here for. Yep, part 4. So, let's talk about the time this mofo technically kidnapped me and took me to Utah. Again, I agreed to the whole situation, of course. But the thing is, when we went all the way to Utah, he had stopped the truck, my stepdad, the truck driver. So basically, when we made it to Utah, he parked the truck and we were going to sleep. And then while that happened, the police pulled up right behind us and said, we already know she's in the truck, let her out now. So let me tell y'all how this got started. So I was in a group home and stuff, and being in a group home, they have limited interactions and limited choices and limited everything. So basically, in that group home, it was a 7-day waiting period until I could get my phone back. So I got kicked out the house because my mom gave up her rights to CPS and the government so that I could be in and out of group homes, basically. So once that 7-day waiting period was over and I got my phone back, the first thing I did text my stepdad. The first thing I did was text my stepdad. And I was like, you need to come get me. So I would just be sitting on my phone making my little Instagram reels or whatever. And then I would FaceTime him and talk to him. And, we was planning the whole escape together for him to kidnap me and take me to Utah, So, yeah, but we eventually ended up rolling down there and we got caught immediately after we parked and we're trying to go to sleep. And then at the group homes for a little bit, it was regular visitation. Like, it was regular just me going out to visit somebody. Now, at first, I was visiting my auntie, but then I took it to the next level and I wanted to start visiting my stepdad. So I told him, you need to come pick me up. I want to spend time with you. But yeah, even while I was in the house, even before my mom gave her rights up to DCS, it would just be weird stuff happening already. It got to the point where he would say that, don't tell nobody I'm coming to the house. Don't tell mom or your siblings that I'm coming to the house because you're just going to throw a fit. So I didn't tell nobody that he was coming to the house. And then my mom would come and ask me, is DeAndre coming to the house? Is DeAndre coming to the house? And da-da-da-da. I'm like, bro. And I would have to sit there and tell her, no, he's not coming to the house. He's not coming to the house. So he would just be playing these games with her. She didn't even have time to clean up the house or none of that. And then on top of that, I feel like she's supposed to keep the house clean anyway. But with 5 kids, I don't think, yeah. So yeah, after that, the house was never clean when he walked through that door. And then, let me tell y'all about this other incident that happened. So, I already told y'all about my mom. She's an alcoholic and she drinks too much. So basically what happened was she had to go to the hospital this one time because she got alcohol poisoning and cold stones in her stomach. The little stones you got to take out of your stomach, or the doctor has to take out your stomach. So yeah, that's what she got. And basically they had took her to the hospital for the night and they did what they needed to do for her. So when she left and went to the hospital that night, our grandma had to come over to the house and watch us and the kids. Mind you, my stepdad was still over there. So I'm pretty sure she already knew something was about to happen. So that night that my mom went to the hospital and my grandma came over and the kids fell asleep, of course, because it was at nighttime. So my grandma came over and she watched all of us, but I was the only one up and my stepdad was the only one up, and he went into the room. So me not wanting to be out there watching TV with my grandma, I went into my mom's room where my mom and my stepdad sleep. And he was in there with no clothes on. He was in there naked. So I got to taking off my clothes and I got in the bed naked and I was trying to go to sleep. Y'all know I wasn't trying to go to sleep. I was not trying to go to sleep. So he got to playing that music, that intimate music, that soul, that R&B, the intimate music and stuff. He got to playing that music and we just got to it. Like and comment for part 5.